What's up, guys? Figured we'd start doing housekeeping right at the front of the show, so the people who don't quite make it to the end sometimes can hear these things, and for the people who already know, you can just skip through it till you hear the music, and the show will just continue on as usual. So with that said, here's housekeeping. You can follow us on Facebook, both JAMUP and Matt Archer Media, if you want everything Matt Archer Media, Ohio WrestleCast, Bunch of Potheads Podcast, JAMUP, and whatever future things we may do. Just everything all together. You can go ahead and follow us at facebook.com/MattArcherMedia. JAMUP is also on Facebook. If you purely just want to follow JAMUP and Jeffy, facebook.com/JAMUP Podcast is where you can find us there. Go ahead and like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends. All audio versions of the podcast are available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other podcast providers. If we're not for some reason, shoot us a message. We'll do our best to get on there for you. Video versions of the podcast are available at youtube.com/MattArcherMedia. Come over, see our pretty faces. Like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the little bell icon next to the subscribe button. You'll get notified every time a new episode comes out. If you want a t-shirt, you can go to mattarcher.threadless.com for the time being. You can follow us on Instagram as well, at Matt Archer Media. Jeffy's on there. You can follow him at Jeff Hughes MMA. Damn. I'm also on there at Western Jesus on Instagram. That might be it, Stitch. What do you think? Here's the show.
Let's count it down. 3, 2.
And Wayne's World. Wayne's World.
Yes, you got the reference.
Party time. Excellent. All right. This is not Wayne's World. This is Jam Up. Jeff and Mark's Untitled Podcast number 24. I am Mark Thomas. This is MMA superstar Jeff Lights Out Hughes. And
boom. I love that.
Boom. And I love that. You love being called an MMA superstar.
Yeah, even though I'm not. They don't even have my picture on Google for the up-and-coming fight I'm in 13 days.
They don't?
No, it's a picture of a 115-pound woman.
But it's supposed to be you.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what went wrong there, but, they'll figure it out.
Wow. Yeah, no, they'll have to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the fight's 2 weeks away.
13 days, yeah.
So, yeah, get on it, UFC. What the fuck?
I'm sure I'll have to take 1,000 pictures out there when I do arrive in Wichita, Kansas.
We already have, haven't you?
Yeah.
I could have just used one of those.
I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I don't care. I'm not huge on pictures anyways. This is honestly the most time I've spent in front of a camera in my whole life, so
I'm glad you chose this camera, sir.
This is the camera. It's the golden camera.
I guess they just don't update their website very often or something.
No, and plus I'm a peon, dude. I don't have a fight with them yet, so I get it. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, anyway.
But I'm a superstar in Mark's eyes.
Oh, for sure. More than that, I'm sure, too. Yeah, I'm not the only one who sees you as an MMA superstar.
MMA superstar.
But I guess with that said, fight update, how's it going? Like you said, 13 days away.
13 days away. Everything's going great. Training camp is on point.
Good to hear.
Had a little scare there about a week ago. We trained Thursday morning, and it was, when I'm saying, it was the best training session I've ever had in my life. I am 100% confident it was.
Yeah.
Everything was clicking. I was moving. My cardio is on point. So I go home and I have conditioning at night. So I went home. I went to school, went home, took a little nap, woke up, a voicemail from my manager. Hey, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Daniel Spitz, he dropped out of the fight.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so
I didn't know this.
Yeah, so that was a real kick in the dick. But so we scrambled around, and Jim, my manager, he's one of the best in the game. He really is. Scrambled around. We had some options literally the next day, and we decided to somebody stepped up and to take it, and somebody that I know. His name is Maurice Green.
Oh,
the crochet boss.
Wow.
So Hughes versus Green too.
Holy shit!
Mm-hmm.
Are they gonna call it Hughes versus Green too?
I doubt it.
No, it's like WWE. They'd want it to be a UFC thing.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll mention that we fought before and all that. But like, we're on the prelims, so there's not going to be a whole lot of production behind it or anything like that. But yeah, this is a harder fight for me. I think Maurice Green is all around a better fighter, and I have nothing bad to say about him because he gave me the hardest fight of my life.
Yeah, this whole time that you've been training for a completely different fight, though.
Yeah, but
Relax, Bob.
Nothing's really changed. Besides, yeah, he's a better fighter. First off, I think he's southpaw, but like those are all things that we can change the last couple weeks anyways. But I mean, similar size as Spitz. They're both 6'7", big monster dudes. So like that has not changed.
Okay, I didn't realize Spitz was that big.
Spitz is a big guy.
He doesn't look that big in like the pictures and stuff I've seen of him.
No, but I think weight wise, Green is thicker. But yeah, definitely, I'm so excited. They could have told me that anybody could have took that fight. I would have took it. We're in the fight business, man. We're not here to fucking pick and choose our fights.
No, I get it.
I'm happy he stepped up on short notice. I have nothing but respect for the dude. Like I said, I told him after we fought the first time back at the hotel, we and him, took a couple pictures and stuff. We both respect the hell out of each other. But I was like, we'll see each other again in the UFC cage. I guarantee it. And
here it is.
Fucking happened quicker than I thought.
Yeah.
10 months later.
Yeah, shit. Well, cool. I didn't know that at all. That's news to me.
It made the rounds on Facebook, but it wasn't huge news. I haven't been posting a whole lot about the fight. I just been concentrating on training and everything. We're dialing in right now, and everything is perfect.
Nice. Good to hear.
Yeah. So.
Hell yeah.
That's the only fight updates I got. It's a pretty big one. I'm excited for Wichita, I guess. I don't know what's in Wichita, but I'm ready for it.
Cool. So that's the only change. It's still March 9th. So it's
still March 9th. Still same spot on the card. Still everything. So it'll be on ESPN Plus. I wasn't sure if it was going to be because they've been doing the prelims on ESPN and doing the main cards on ESPN Plus, but this whole card I believe was on ESPN Plus. So
okay,
I of course put it on my social media and JAMUP and all that, just so people know. And ESPN Plus does like a free week subscription, like anything else. So
I think that's
please,
what I'll be doing.
Please get that free week. And for $5 a month, man, they have a lot of good content on there. So I'd recommend spending that $5 on that instead of a fucking latte from Starbucks or whatever. Just miss one, it adds up. So
I agree. So cool, lots of cool content, like documentaries and stuff too on there.
They have like documentaries and like behind the scene fights, and actually they have a shit ton of the ESPN 30 for 30s,
nice,
which are unbelievable. They do unbelievable work on those.
I've only seen 2 episodes of that, and it was
Nature Boy one,
Nature Boy Ric Flair,
which I thought they did great on,
and then the XFL episode.
I didn't watch the XFL one. I was really excited when that came out, but I haven't got around to watching it.
It was good. I like the Ric Flair one is probably my favorite of the 2. But
me and my coach Steve were talking about, because he's a huge wrestling fan too. He's like, I was really excited for the Ric Flair one, but like they didn't really tell me anything I didn't already know.
Yeah, it was the basic rundown of the Ric Flair story.
And I didn't realize how emotional Ric Flair is.
Oh, yeah.
He cries.
His birthday was just the other day. Did you see that?
Clip,
and like a bunch of people, like Shawn Michaels. A
bunch of guys that you never would have thought was there. Even non-wrestlers were there.
Yeah, and he was crying the whole fucking time, pretty much.
It's good. He deserves it, man. The guy, I think he's been through a lot. I mean, dude survived a plane wreck, which is fucking terrifying. He used to wrestle 364 days a year.
Yeah.
I think they'd give him Christmas off, but it was just insane.
Ric Flair, he's a fucking legend.
Yeah, the best of all time, I would say. Well, one of them.
Yeah. I mean, we can't talk about Ric Flair without woo!
Woo! Hey, who is on your... I'm sure you've talked about this on Ohio WrestleCast, but who's on your Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling?
Oh, shit. Okay. I think we did talk
We
about
talk
this.
about... Me and Jared have had this conversation. I flip-flop depending on how I feel that day, but like I have a pretty solid 4.
Yeah.
It's easy to do 5.
Yeah.
4 is the hard one.
See, I can't remember who I said originally, but I'm pretty sure I had Ric Flair on there. I had Macho Man. I think I even put Paul Heyman on there.
He has been a big influence on the world of wrestling.
He basically created a whole generation of wrestling.
Would you put him on there over Vince McMahon?
No.
Yeah, see, that's where it gets
If
a
I
little...
had to choose between the two, it would be Vince McMahon. Yeah. And I don't think I chose Vince. I might have chose Vince the first time, but I couldn't tell you. I think I said put Stone Cold on there.
Right. And as big as Stone Cold was, it was only for like 6 years.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part.
People
debate who, like the Jordan and LeBron thing, who's the greatest of all time. People debate that all the time between Hogan and Stone Cold. Mm-hmm. But Hogan did it for 40 years. Stone Cold did it for like 6.
But again, think about it. Like Hogan did it for 40 years and got where he was. Stone Cold did it for 6 and got where he was.
Exactly.
And
Stone Cold's probably the bigger celebrity out of the whole.
And I think you talk to anybody, you talk to everyone, 50% of them are going to say they didn't really like Hulk Hogan. Yep. But I would bet you at the very least, 75 to 80% would say they loved Stone Cold. Austin.
He was the guy, even when he was a heel, he was the guy you loved to hate.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I thought he played a great heel. I would say my Mount Rushmore would be Hogan, Stone Cold, Rock, and Flair. It's hard not to put The Rock on there, even though like I thought he was just at one time. I thought he was just as big as Stone Cold.
Yeah.
He was another guy that only did it for 6 to 8 years, but like look at him now. He's one of the biggest celebrities in Hollywood.
For sure. I would say he probably is the biggest celebrity in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I think he's the highest paid actor.
Highest paid actor, so yeah. But he also puts out like a shit ton of trash movies too.
Yeah. But some of them are better than, like Jumanji, I surprisingly liked a lot.
I haven't yet to watch it, but everybody I've talked to said it was a good movie.
Yeah.
And I loved the original Jumanji. I mean, that movie's fucking awesome to this day.
Oh yeah, that's what I enjoyed most about the. It's not really a remake; it was
more of a sequel.
Reboot.
Reboot, yeah.
But it was connected. But that's what I like most about it is that it didn't try to be
the old one.
Yeah. Movies.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've watched anything lately, but I've watched a few things.
I've been kind of lacking on the movie watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing more video games than anything on my free time.
I gotcha.
But I'd like to hear what you've been watching.
Well, I guess I have less to say about the second thing I wrote down, so I'll start with that. But I don't know if you've ever saw the Creed movies, the continuations of the Rocky story.
Oh, I thought the Scott Stapp story. Can you take?
God, I wouldn't watch that.
I would. It'd be a fucking train wreck. It'd be awesome.
Probably, yeah. It would be no Bohemian Rhapsody, that's for sure. But, yeah, I watched Creed 2 finally. It took me forever. But I liked it. I mean, I enjoyed the first one a lot. First one was really good. The more I see Michael B. Jordan, though, the less I like him.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
I just seem like he just always gets angry, and he's always like the same guy in every movie.
Every movie he's the Tommy Tough Nuts.
He's the black Jason Statham.
Yeah,
essentially.
I can't even say that because I liked Jason Statham back in the day when he was doing Guy Ritchie movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was never really a fan. I don't know. I don't know what it is about him. I like him more now than I used to. Like I don't know. He doesn't irritate me as much. You also don't see him as much.
I was gonna say he got really popular there for a year or so.
Yeah.
I mean, he's putting out all those crank movies and same fucking movies over and over again. High adrenaline rush movies.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like he's kind of playing the same guy in the same movie. Like, and then he went he was in a movie where he played like it took place in medieval times, and he was like a medieval knight type dude, which I didn't buy at all. Like, it was just weird. I was like, all right, so he's just like branching out, see what he could do, I guess. But no, never.
Yeah, he doesn't have a
never
whole
fan.
wide range of, but he was good in Snatch. I liked him a lot in Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. He was really good in too. He wasn't a huge actor in that movie, but
If he's not the main character, I like him a lot more. Pretty much.
With Guy Ritchie movies, there is no main character.
No, it's usually like an ensemble cast or whatever.
But yeah, back to Creed
yeah,
2.
somehow we got on
I'm
Jason
sorry.
Statham, but,
Michael B. Jordan sucks.
That's how it was. Yeah. I mean, I don't hate him, but like I like him less the more. Like he kind of plays the same guy in every movie. Like he's
tough guy.
Yeah.
And he's not like there's nothing scary or posing about him.
Not really. No. And recently, he actually, I don't know if you heard about this. Somebody was talking about it on a podcast, but he thinks pretty highly of his boxing skills now. He called out
Floyd Mayweather.
Was it Mayweather?
Yeah,
I thought it was
so.
Roy Jones.
He probably called
Or maybe
them both
of
out.
them.
Yeah.
But just ridiculous. Thinking he could take either one of those.
Yeah.
It's like when
you should
Shiloh-
start with Drake first because Drake has a boxing video out there now.
There you
if
go.
he could beat Drake, then maybe you can start fighting somebody else.
A lot of celebrities are getting into like fighting and like MMA and stuff. Even Jonah Hill's doing jiu-jitsu shit.
It's the
now.
best form of best form of exercise, really. I mean, it's full body exercise, and you don't have to do it for hours to reap the benefits of it.
Yeah, and you learn how to defend yourself.
Right. Which some of these guys probably need to learn. You know, if they don't have a bodyguard by them, fuck, man, they're easy pickings.
Yeah, I mean, I think every dude, I could definitely use some learning, let alone many other people, I'm sure. But
that's the thing is a whole lot of people, even the guys that think they're tough, aren't really that. And I can say that because I've been training to fight since I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
And I tell that to people. People always ask me, like, how would you do against this guy? I'm like, he has zero training. That's like me going down to Canton City, seeing a guy that plays basketball all the time, and going, I think I can beat you one-on-one. It's not going to happen.
No.
Do I have a chance of scoring a point? Yep. Probably the same way somebody has a chance of landing one punch on me.
Yeah.
But it's not going to happen. I'm not going to beat that person.
No, for sure. It's like me challenging any somewhat professional fighter. Even an amateur fighter would probably beat my ass.
Somebody that has training.
Like a normal everyday dude, I'd probably put up a good fight, but like, and maybe he would win.
You would win a lot. You would win more than you would lose against an average guy. But a trained fighter, he's trained to hurt you.
Yep.
But yeah, so Creed 2.
Creed 2, it was...
Yeah, we keep getting off
it.
this.
It was good. There's a couple of things I wrote down about it. One of the main plot points... You said you haven't saw it?
No, I watched the first one, and I did not care for him. The first Creed.
All right.
It's probably why I didn't watch the second one.
Well, this is a little bit of a spoiler, but not really.
That's fine.
It's a very small part of the plot. But at one point, you know the girl he's with in the first one?
Yes.
Well, they're still together in the second one, and she gets pregnant. Spoiler alert, people.
Oh, jeez.
And
how original.
yeah, and she has a hearing problem, I guess, which I didn't remember from the first one.
I don't either.
But apparently her hearing's been going to shit, and she's basically deaf, and she needs a hearing aid now. And they were worried that the baby was going to have hearing issues too. Well, turns out the baby does, and the baby's deaf. She wasn't reacting to any of the tests they were doing, I guess. This is what unless I missed something, the baby is deaf.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At one point, after they've discovered the baby is deaf, the mother leaves to go to work or perform a show or something because she's a singer. And it's actually the chick, and I never put this together, but it's the chick from Thor Ragnarok. She played Valkyrie.
Oh, she's the drunk lady? The drunk girl?
The drunk girl?
Yeah, she's always drunk in Thor.
I didn't know if she was always...
Remember she was like, if I can drink this, you can talk to me as long as it takes me to drink this, and she just pounds it.
That might have been her. I don't quite remember that
She's
one.
like...
Black girl.
Yeah, the girl that helps him at the end.
Him,
yeah. She was a drunk that whole movie. How'd you miss that?
Okay, I guess I need to rewatch Thor Ragnarok because I didn't.
The best
pick up
Marvel
on
movie.
That. But yeah, I was that many days old when I learned that was Valkyrie in the movie. But so she leaves to go to do a show or perform or go to work or something, and Michael B. Jordan stays at home with the baby. The baby's sleeping. She just got the baby to sleep, actually. She leaves, and when she leaves, she slams the door, and it's loud, and it wakes the baby up. The baby's deaf.
Yeah.
Did
they put that there on purpose?
I don't know. Like I said, unless I completely missed something here, and I might have. If I did, anybody watching thinks I'm an asshole, let me know how big of an asshole I am.
Maybe the vibration?
That's what I thought. Maybe the vibration, but like, I don't know.
Seems like a plot hole.
They were all the way completely across the other side of the apartment. I mean, it is fucking Philadelphia, right? It is kind of like a shitty apartment. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. All I know is it was loud, and they didn't, like, make it obvious that it was vibrations that did it. It was just a loud door slam, and the baby started crying. Yeah. And they made it the whole reason the baby was crying is so that he was then like, what do I do? What do I do? And he has to call fucking Mrs. Cosby, which is the chick who plays Mrs. Cosby.
Mrs. Cosby.
Is his like adopted mother.
Yes.
Like, how do I do that?
I thought it was his real mom.
No. Apollo was his real dad.
Yeah.
But he was like an estranged son who was an orphan, and Apollo had died. He never even met Apollo.
Yeah, I knew that.
And then she went to like the orphanage or whatever and got him.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe she was, but I don't think she was.
I don't think she was either. Now that it started to ring a bell.
But, yeah, that's bothered me. Everything about the movie other than that I liked. But that thing with the baby has confused the shit out of me.
The biggest thing I do not like is the fact that isn't the guy in it Ivan Drago's son?
Mm-hmm. That's another thing.
So you're going to tell me that not only the guy that killed his father, and it just so happened that he grew up to be a world-class boxer, but the son of the guy that was a world-class boxer is also a world-class boxer.
Yeah.
It just seems like cheesy 80s writing.
If you watch the movie, it makes a little more sense because they go into another spoiler alert. Dolph Lundgren's in the movie. He plays Drago again. Dolph Lundgren did really good, but Dolph Lundgren, because he lost against Rocky in Russia, he was then shamed after that.
Yeah, like he was exiled.
He lost Brigitte Nielsen. She was in it too, which I didn't see coming.
Oh, she was?
Spoiler alert again, yeah.
Wow.
And but he's not with her anymore. She was like, "Fuck you." Like him and his son were his son was basically his second chance to get back on their good graces. So it all kind of, he's been training his son to basically be his comeback.
Yeah.
To get, you know what I mean? Like he's still in love with Brigitte Nielsen, I guess, because I don't want to spoil too much. I definitely you didn't like the first one, so you probably never watched the second one. But
I'll watch it eventually. Yeah.
I liked the first 4 Rocky movies.
I do too. And Rocky Balboa.
I see. I never saw any Rocky movies after the 4th one.
The 5th one is the only.
The 5th one I tried to watch, and I was just like, I'm not ready for this.
It's pretty bad. It's like early 90s, just not.
It's the 5th Rocky movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 4 was good, but 5, I just watching in the beginning. I'm like,
you know what I always thought? Even when I was a kid, I was like, okay, so Ivan Drago's like a force nobody's ever seen before. He's legit killing people. He loses one fight to Rocky, and it's technically his first pro fight ever.
Really? I guess I never picked up on that.
Well, he was an amateur, and the fight and he was like the best amateur in the world, and the fight between him and Apollo was an exhibition.
Okay.
So he wasn't even a professional at this point.
You're right, yeah.
So his first fight was against Rocky Balboa. In the movie is decorated as one of the best heavyweight boxers of all time. He's destroying him. He loses, and you're going to tell me that the guy had no fights after that?
Yeah.
He just retired because he lost to one of the best boxers of all time?
Maybe.
That doesn't make sense.
I mean, I don't know Russian culture, but they definitely made it seem that, like,
they
Drago was fucked after that.
Yeah.
Like, he lost everything.
Because, honestly, if there wouldn't be many fighters left if as soon as you lose, you never fought again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, somebody
but
has to lose in the fights.
I'm glad you brought up Drago, because the last thing I wrote down. Well, I thought the ending of the movie was pretty predictable. but of course it was.
It's a Rocky movie.
Yeah. Although the first Rocky movie, I don't think the people originally saw that.
That's why I think it won so many awards and stuff, because it was like, wow, the
'Cause
good
it
guy
dared to
doesn't.
be different.
Spoiler alert: Rocky
Yeah.
doesn't win in the first Rocky.
Yeah. But the other thing I wrote down, and like I said, I'm glad you brought it up, is Jeff's thoughts on Ivan Drago killing Apollo.
I was okay with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I was more of a Drago fan than Apollo fan.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So
Because he came out like a showboat.
he did. Yeah. No doubt.
He didn't
But
learn his lesson.
that-
Apollo Creed never learned his lesson besides in Rocky 2. Because in Rocky 1, he came out like Uncle Sam and yelling, I want you, I want you.
Yeah.
In the second one, he was full.
Well, because he
Killer
was,
mode.
Yeah, he was still there. He had beat Rocky. Like, he was still on that.
But in the
That
second
hype
one,
train.
he knew he had to come out, and he ended up losing. And then he comes back out against this killing machine, and he dancing to James Brown.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
You fucking died. You had it coming.
Rocky did the same thing, too, there for a hot minute after he beat Apollo in the third one, right?
Oh, the third one.
He's wearing suits and being all flashy and shit. Like,
driving
that
the
was Rocky's,
Corvettes.
like lesson learning movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But okay, so you're okay with it, because I was always like why was that okay? Why was there no repercussions for basically murdering a man in the middle?
There
of
isn't in fighting. There's been people that have died in the ring, and
I know, but like if you look at it, like okay, I have to go way back. People don't even know what I'm talking about here, I'm sure, but to an old episode of Jay and Mark.
okay.
All right, where we had a discussion about did Ivan Drago intend to kill Apollo Creed?
Yeah.
And
course.
Jared was like, and we didn't plan it at all, but all of a sudden Jared was like, I don't know. Let's go to the clip. And then I actually edited in the clip, and it actually, I got so many copyright strikes, I had to cut it down so little by the end. But and we watched it, and we confirmed that, yeah, I'm pretty fucking sure he wanted to kill Apollo Creed. So he murdered Apollo Creed, essentially. Like, he went in there, and because he didn't need to punch him that many times in the corner.
It was.
He didn't.
It was.
Or on the ropes
it's
or whatever.
up to the referee and Apollo's corner to throw in the towel.
No, I get that. I get that basically Jesus, Walt, shut up. God. I know you have opinions, but damn. For the audio listeners, Walter's snoring, and the video viewers, I guess he can't see. But where was I? Walt, you always fuck me up.
It's he meant to kill him.
Yeah, but I had a point that I was going to go with there. Yeah, okay. The responsibility was on the ref. Like, when it comes down to it, Apollo Creed died because the ref didn't stop the fight.
Yes.
But Ivan Drago is a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
And wanted to kill that man for essentially no reason at all. If you think about it. I mean, maybe he talked a little bit of shit, but it's Apollo Creed. That's like getting mad because Conor McGregor talked some shit.
Right. Well, a lot of people do want to kill Conor McGregor.
I get it. But I'm saying, like, they don't. And those people don't understand that Conor McGregor is making you money by talking that shit.
Yeah. I think that's why everybody wants that Conor McGregor fight. I don't know. It doesn't... Any fight that's ever in any of the Rocky Balboas, you can just know that it's not realistic, and the ref would have jumped in the middle of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
As soon as, like, the one time Rocky has his hands down and he's just getting wailed on, that fight's over.
Yeah.
Can't defend yourself.
And if you remember, once Rocky, because he's like contemplating throwing in the towel, you know, and once Rocky does get in the ring when they call the fight, and he's holding Apollo there, like dead, I guess, or dying in the ring. It's the most chaotic scene ever.
Yeah.
There's just shots of people, like, here's a shot of the wife, here's a shot of Rocky, here's a shot of, Drago's dad or coach or whatever. Like, and the music's almost like Psycho. It's like ring, 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 and it's so dramatic. It's so well done for like that time. Like,
I love the Rocky
lights
movies.
flashing everywhere in every scene. Man, that's so. Sorry, I guess I need to rewatch all
I have them all on DVD. So if you need to,
shit, I might do that. What was that?
That was like me handing it to you.
Oh, okay. That looked like something. If you
Yeah,
need to jerk off to fucking Rocky.
Hey, here you go.
But yeah,
I'll give them to you.
that's my thoughts on Creed 2. Another movie I watched, for some reason I closed the book, which I have a lot more notes on, was Aquaman.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa's Aquaman.
I don't like Jason Momoa either.
You're not a fan?
No.
Oh, you weren't?
I think he's like this generation's Vin Diesel.
Oh, yeah. Shit. So you weren't...
But he has way more charisma than Vin Diesel. So I won't sell it that short. I won't sell him that short, but...
Jason Momoa is way more likable than Vin Diesel.
Yeah. But I think he's always going to be that...
Yeah.
Look at me. I have no range in my acting.
No, he's definitely... Yeah,
he's always going to be that the tough guy.
There's a method to his madness there. He's always going to be Jason Momoa.
That's what I appreciate about The Rock so much is because he can be that badass.
He's got some range.
But if you watch one of my favorite Rock movies, which it gets shit on so much because I hate Michael Bay and a lot of people hate Michael Bay, but Pain and Gain. The Rock is phenomenal.
I've
in
never
that movie.
seen it, but I've heard about it, and I've heard some stories about the production. And essentially, Mark Wahlberg and The Rock were legally allowed to take steroids for like months.
Oh, yeah.
And get ginormous.
Yeah. Mark Wahlberg is a big dude, and then you see The Rock next to him. And
you see the pictures of them like just walking down across the street together, and they're just...
Yeah.
They look like pit bulls. They're built like pit bulls.
The Rock and I think The Rock was, I think the first Cena match he came back for, he was like still that big.
Jacked.
He was huge.
I mean, and when Rock actually lost a lot of weight and shit back in the day and took off a lot of the muscle when he first started his acting career because he thought that's what Hollywood wanted. And at the time that kind of was like a lot of the action stars were like Orlando Bloom and like skinnier. Like
they look like they were in shape, yeah.
But like not jacked dudes.
Right. It wasn't like the 80s where it was Arnold and Stallone. Stallone had veins sticking out of his arms.
Yeah, yeah. He eventually realized like, oh shit, like all that mass, all that muscle mass was what made me special with all this. Like, and even you bring up Stallone too. At the time, Stallone used to bitch about what all the action stars looked like at the time. He's like, Orlando Bloom is not a fucking action star. Like
I never thought Bruce Willis was either.
Well,
he's not believable to me.
Bruce Willis is a dad essentially.
Yeah,
but
and I always feel like they put Bruce Willis in that same category as Arnold and Stallone and all these guys, and he's in the Expendables and all that.
Yeah,
I've never seen him as an action guy. He did Die Hard.
Die Hard's really the only like big action.
What other action movies?
And like Red, he did those Red movies, but that's more recent. You know what I mean? When you think of
Looper was kind of actiony, but
yeah, even though I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt did most of the action in that movie.
Yeah.
But
I never considered, but yeah, same way. But
like, even in Die Hard now, he doesn't really do much more. Like
I've never watched a Die Hard movie.
Ever? Not even the original ones?
The original.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith was in, like, the fourth one.
Was he?
Yeah, Justin Long's in it, so I bet Josh hates that one.
I've always hated Justin Long as well.
But
I love him in
it was a good
Family.
one. Timothy Olyphant was the bad guy. I don't know if you know who that is.
In the first one?
No, in the fourth one, the same one with Kevin Smith. Timothy Olyphant, he was on Justified, that show Justified.
Oh, yeah, the bald guy. No, I'm sorry. The guy that Justified
good-looking dude. He's like the main guy. He played the cop. He was on
he's in,
Deadwood. Bunch of other stuff.
Girl Next Door. He was like the creepy porn director.
Yeah, for sure. Wow.
I love that. That was a great...
I haven't seen that movie since like 2001 when it came out. Shit.
Walter.
Walt, your Snorsaurus Rex over here. I don't think he's picking him up, though. Jesus Christ, he sounds like a fucking...
like a lawnmower.
Yeah, or like a motorboat. Anyway, back to Aquaman.
Yeah, what is your opinion on it?
Well, my first note is awesome visuals. They looked awesome. Like, the movie's 90% CGI, but which, of course, you're going to expect in a movie called about Aquaman.
Yeah, you're underwater.
But they did some awesome, like really cool, like comic book shots. Like at one point, Mira and Aquaman are jumping off a boat during a storm, and all these like crazy like, I don't know what to really call them. They're kind of like fish people or something. Like, these crazy creatures are all coming up out of the water at them, but like, you're seeing the shot through like a lightning strike, so everything's just kind of lit up and you see it all, and they're diving into the just. It's hard to describe it. And there's a big wave and shit. It just looks like it's straight out of a comic book. Like
I thought the last
painted it.
couple DC movies have visually looked great.
Yeah.
Like Justice League, I thought looked great. But I'm not a huge fan of all the CGI that they have been using. Like, it's almost overkill.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Aquaman, you don't have a choice.
For stuff like this, you kind of have to. There was another shot of Aquaman kissing Mira at one point, and like there's a whole bunch of action and shit going on, and very much reminded me of the cover of Unheavenly Creatures, Coheed's new album. Like, very much, almost like I feel like one of these people saw the other before they made
ripped it
this.
off a little bit.
Yeah. So whether it was Coheed or James Wan, I think his name, the guy that directed this Aquaman movie is the guy that made all the Saw movies and shit.
Really?
Yeah, and like the most successful Fast and Furious one, I think, 7.
7, yeah.
And so yeah, and he made horror guy. He's known for horror essentially, and then Fast and Furious, one Fast and Furious movie. So he did a really fucking good job. I think Aquaman's better than Wonder Woman.
Really?
I do.
And Wonder Woman got a lot of praise. That was like the saving grace for DC, a lot of people said.
It really is. And I think Wonder Woman and Aquaman are the only franchises that are going to cross over into whatever this new universe is they're going to build.
Yeah.
Because they're recasting Batman and all kinds of shit.
You can't get rid of Wonder Woman, dude. She is a smoke show.
Yeah, and she's good as Wonder Woman.
She's good as Wonder Woman.
And they made Aquaman cool, I think, with Jason Momoa, although you may disagree because you don't really like Jason Momoa.
Yeah, but I get it. Like, I'd rather see that than like what Aquaman really is, and that's just like a dorky blonde dude that can talk to the fish.
Yeah.
That's essentially what he is.
Yeah. But he made it so cool. Like, if you could have a shark defend you, that's very cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And before I get off it, the reason I thought it was better than Wonder Woman is because I thought it had a better villain with Black Manta, even though David Thewlis, the guy who played the villain in Wonder Woman, is my fucking dude in like most other movies. He was in Big Lebowski. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about.
He's one of the Russian guys?
No, he was whatever, something more. The redheaded chick who's like who fucks Lebowski. Her friend, the guy who was all laughy and weird.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, he was in like Harry Potter. He's in all kinds of shit. But yeah, that's my fucking dude. I love that guy. But he was not as good a villain as Black Manta, which I think he was Ares in Wonder Woman.
Ares, yeah.
But and I thought that where Wonder Woman went downhill is the final act, the last fight scene. Just that whole third act of Wonder Woman was not as good as the whole rest of the movie. I think Aquaman has a much better third act than Wonder Woman.
I'm starting to realize that that's almost like a trend right now. With a lot of the things I've been watching, it starts off a lot better than it's been ending. I can't give any examples right now because like it's like a observation I made.
Justice League is a great example.
Yeah, Justice League started off great.
The whole ending was just rushed and kind of like there was something missing from it. But
the for superhero movies, Avengers, Infinity War, actually I thought did better at probably the last 2 acts than they did the first 2. Like they didn't. I felt like I love that movie. Yeah. I feel like they explained things way too much in the first 2 acts than they had to. We knew going into this.
And I think they did that mostly for people who were just like, well, I guess I need to see this movie. Everybody's talking about it. But fuck those people.
Right.
You know what I mean? They were making that movie for you and me and people that have been invested for the last decade.
And they have no choice, but Endgame has to be balls to the wall the whole time.
And I think it is. Endgame is over 3 hours long. and they're gonna there's gonna be an intermission in between.
They have decided.
I don't know if it's confirmed and official, but that's the last thing I heard.
Dude, I cannot wait for that movie. We gotta go to like a midnight showing.
No, if we do right after that, we gotta fucking review it and post it that night.
I'm good with it.
Cool.
Let's plan on doing that.
Sounds good to me, sir. Look forward to that, people. Favorite part? Aquaman was the origin. The whole story with his mother and father. Fucking loved it. It was the sweetest, fucking coolest shit. Like, it led me to, because I have 2 memorable quotes from the movie that I wrote down because I liked them so much. And my father was a lighthouse keeper and my mother was a queen. I thought was such a badass line. And it's kind of the way he opens the movie and ends the movie. And just love that whole fucking story between Nicole Kidman and the guy who plays Jango Fett in the Star Wars prequel movies.
Oh, it's him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Plays Aquaman's dad.
Yeah.
And another memorable quote that Aquaman's mom said to him or whatever, because she was sad or whatever. She says, "Where I come from, the sea carries our tears away." Carries our tears away. I don't know why I said it like an Irishman. Carries our tears away. But where I come from, the sea carries our tears away, which I thought was also a badass line.
Yeah, I'm surprised Nicole Kidman was doing that. To be honest with you, that's the mother, Nicole Kidman.
Yeah,
she's always
Aquaman's mom.
I always feel like she's in these movies that are like they win all these awards, but like me and you would watch them, we'd fall asleep the first 20 minutes. Like, what the fuck is going on in this movie? Like,
yeah, she's been in some movies I had no interest in, but some of which I was just like, what the fuck? The movie that still confuses me to this day, but I love it because it's such a like esoteric Illuminati exposing type movie is Eyes Wide Shut. And nobody likes that.
It's been so long since I've watched that movie.
It was Stanley Kubrick's last movie, and
it was Tom Cruise and her, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And such a fucked up movie, but they cut 45 minutes of it after he aired it for the first time and died like the day before or whatever.
It came out.
Yeah. He whole conspiracy theory behind it. But 45 minutes of that movie was cut out. And if you watch that movie's definitely telling you fucked up shit about the elite. And
now I have to
people
watch.
People were unhappy with that movie. Sorry, man. My bad. I make movies sound good. Like I think that's kind of my job doing this sort of thing. Yeah. But to get off that and back on Aquaman, it was very much a comic book movie. And I loved every bit of it. James Wan, good job. I hope that's your name. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
I really hope, though, that and I compare this to wrestling because that's all I know is shit like that. But, like, what makes something better, I guess it goes for anything, is competition. And if fucking Marvel doesn't have any competition, they can put out any bullshit. And we're going to, well, at least it's better than DC shit.
And, I mean, I could be wrong, but, I mean, the Nolan trilogy was out before Marvel was doing the MCU, right? Mm-hmm. So,
I think
MCU
Iron Man might have been out.
I think Batman Begins was out way before Iron Man.
Yeah, Iron Man didn't come out until, what, like 2006?
Dude, it's been like, I think Iron Man was 2008.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
I can look it up real quick.
Well, because I remember Jeff Hewitt was like going crazy about Iron Man movie, and I was like, and we were at his apartment. So yeah, it was after high school.
Yeah.
I go, who the fuck cares about comic book movies? Well, now I'm like balls deep into them.
Iron Man was 2008, and
good call.
Fucking yeah, I think I looked it up recently.
That kicked off the whole MCU.
Batman Begins.
It was 2005.
It was, yeah. So I could be wrong, but maybe the Nolan trilogy is responsible for the MCU being as good as it is.
Yeah, that set the bar high.
Yeah, and I mean, think about it. The Dark Knight trilogy was very much a realistic, gritty. What if Batman was real? Right. And MCU was like, all right, they got that nailed. So we're not even going to try to get close to that. Let's go fun and comic book. And that's probably why MCU fucking took off. Right. If you think about it, maybe. I could be wrong.
Well, I don't know all of his movies, but Christopher Nolan, I love his movie. Inception was great. All those, like, he is a phenomenal director. Phenomenal.
Agreed.
He was the right guy for that job. So I'm hoping they find another guy that's right for the job, because I really like the DC characters. But I liked the DC before the Marvel Universe came out. Like, I was a DC guy.
Yeah, for sure.
And now I've kind of it swung the other way with it, because I'm like, the movies are so much better, and I just feel like it's like more enjoyable to watch these guys, and I have more of a bond with the MCU now. I'm like, okay.
I have a similar outlook. I'm still in my heart, deep down, like a true blue DC guy all the way. Like, I've always, like, even with the comic books, I like the characters more. I don't know why. I've always been a DC guy. But the Marvel movies are just killing it. But when it comes down to it, if DC did make better movies, like if every DC movie was as good or better than Aquaman or Wonder Woman, it would make me so much happier than a great Marvel movie would be. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I would get so much more from a great, Justice League movie than I would a great Avengers movie, just because I have so much more connection to that. With my own origin.
Being a DC guy.
I mean, I loved Batman. I loved Green Arrow. I grew up watching Justice League cartoons and shit. Like,
that's why I was the Batman animated series.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't miss it. I think it was on at 4:30 every day.
To this day, Mask of the Phantasm is my favorite DC animated movie. Probably my favorite cartoon movie, which is a Batman movie from like 1995.
Yeah.
Like the first, which was actually the same art style, and I think was just like a small movie in the middle of the Batman animated series.
I really like the behind or under the Red Hood one. I thought that was a phenomenal one.
That's another great one.
Yeah.
Another great one. Dude, there's so many.
I didn't really care for the Killing Joke. I know a lot of people didn't either.
No, Killing Joke, they should have just stuck to the comic. They added all kinds of weird things in there.
I know the Year One is really good too.
Yeah,
I don't remember it too much.
It's basically Batman Begins, but with more of the comic book stuff instead of the movie shit. Yeah. But when it comes to the animated movies, DC kills it 99% of the time.
And there's articles out here, so I'm not just making this shit up. Marvel has ripped off DC a lot.
Oh, dude, Deadpool is a straight up rip off of Deadshot. Yeah. Or no,
Deathstroke, sorry. Yeah.
Which is probably my favorite DC villain is Deathstroke.
Deathstroke.
I mean, Wade Wilson is Deadpool. Slade Wilson is Deathstroke. They look very similar when it comes to like the coloring and the way they're designed and shit. Like they straight up admit, Marvel's like, oh yeah, we were definitely ripping off. Like, not essentially ripping them off, but like we were trying to make our own Deathstroke. Yeah. We just made him, because originally Deadpool wasn't like really funny and sarcastic. He was more of like a serious asshole killer guy. I mean, I think he had some quirky like one-liners and shit, but he's not
then
the Deadpool.
Then he started breaking the fourth wall and became like that.
Yeah,
I think Ryan Reynolds killed it with Deadpool.
Oh, he was a perfect Deadpool. Yeah. Perfect Deadpool. The only other guy that, because at first when they announced Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, I was like, he was great in the like leaked footage or whatever, the CGI stuff, and I love Ryan Reynolds. He does a good job. He has the personality. But I thought the guy from the Deadpool video game, the way he sounded is the way I heard Deadpool's voice when I saw pictures or read comics and stuff. Just a little more like gritty, I don't know, New Yorker type dude.
Instead of like over the top.
Yeah.
Like frat boy.
Yeah, Van Wilder. You know what I mean? Van Wilder turned up to 11.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then my only other two things I had to say about Aquaman. Dolph Lundgren was also in Aquaman.
Oh.
Played Mira's father. Looked awesome. Had a cool little like red tint to his hair. He looked really good. Did a great job.
He's in Workaholics as well.
When we get into something else we're going to talk about in this episode, I'm going to bring up Dolph Lundgren again. And the fact that I watched 2 Dolph Lundgren movies in the same day. Not even intending to do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And the only other thing I had about it is Well, no, I guess two things. This is kind of linked together, but most of the movie, Aquaman is swimming in jeans. Which
like
to
Dean
me just
Ambrose.
seems uncomfortable. Yeah, exactly.
Gene Ambrose.
Gene Ambrose. Wow, why did I never think of that?
That's an Evan line.
Good, kudos to Evan Wiley for that one. I might steal that from you.
Mm-hmm.
Until he eventually, spoiler alert, gets an Aquaman-looking suit.
The suit, yeah.
And they somehow made that look pretty fucking badass, which you've probably seen already in like released photos.
He's in
and shit.
Justice League like that, isn't he? He was an Aquaman suit, isn't it?
He was, but it's not that. This is like the original yellow and green suit. Like it's an ancient suit or whatever, and like they made it look pretty fucking cool.
They made it look.
It looks like armor almost.
Yeah,
it's pretty badass. But and I mean, and still very green and very like gold or yellow. You know,
realistic is what they went with.
Yes,
you know.
Kinda. When it came to that, other than that, the whole rest of the movie is very comic book, not.
I'm good with that.
Realistic.
I'm gonna give it a shot. I knew. Like I said at the beginning, it's been in my queue for a month. Like, I've clicked on it and I was like, no, I'm gonna watch something else. And I usually put on something I've watched 100 times.
I don't. I mean, I wanted to see it, but I've had it for, a week and a half, almost 2 weeks now, and it took me till. Thursday to watch it. So, and today's Sunday for people wondering. So that tells you how long it took me. But that's all I got, sir, when it comes to movies and stuff. Only other thing I have for us to talk about is UFC on ESPN. Francis Ngannou versus Cain Valasquez.
We're gonna go through this because you do have one other thing that I can actually add a little.
Oh,
bit
that's
to.
right. I do have something else. You're right.
So let's go. Let's just run through this.
Yeah. We'll start with main event.
The UFC held their first ever ESPN card, not ESPN Plus, but ESPN.
Yeah.
And the very first Fox card ever, Cain Valasquez was also the main event. Same outcome. Got knocked out very quick, 61 seconds or something.
So you see it as a knockout.
It's a curse. Oh, this one? Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think he was hurt
and he just hurt his knee at the same time.
Yeah, I mean the knee going down didn't help him at all. If that hadn't happened, he might have had an even better shot. But
the people that haven't watched this is what happened. Cain Velasquez went out. Yeah. He's fighting Francis Ngannou, which is, in my opinion, the scariest power puncher in the division. I trained with Stipe Miocic, which has beat Francis. He derailed the hype train. And I think Stipe is the greatest fighter of all time.
And according to his last fight, was that Derek Lewis? That was a terrible fight.
Well, he fought Curtis Blades after that.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, and he knocked him out pretty quick.
Okay, I didn't see that one. All
right. But the dude is for real. He has some serious power because a lot of people were like, well, he didn't even hurt Cain. Cain's knee went out. Here's what I saw.
Cain's knee went out because he got punched and fell backwards.
He missed the first 3 punches, but caught him with a very short uppercut that stunned Cain. And as Cain was falling, his leg got slid out and it landed awkwardly.
Yeah,
I haven't heard any reports, but I don't think Cain is actually I don't think his knee blew out or anything.
No, because he was walking fine after
Yes.
that. He just basically rolled his knee.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I'm sure it's sprained or whatever. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. It could be torn. I don't know. But it was a legit stoppage. I mean, Cain was hurt from the punch. Then he hurt his knee, and he could not defend himself.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Ngannou won that fight.
Francis Ngannou is a scary, scary man.
He is. Yeah.
That dude was put on this earth to destroy things with his fist.
French, right? Francis Ngannou?
I think he lived in France after he left Africa because he used to work in So what I know about Francis is he worked, I believe, in the sand mines in Africa.
Sand?
So
what are they mine? They're mining sand?
Yeah. So he would move sand all day.
Let's just get off of that and go for it.
But his dad was actually one of the country's legit bare-knuckle boxers.
Wow.
Yeah. But Francis, I think he moved to France, and he's only been training for 6 years.
Wow.
And he's already had a world title shot. He's only 31, 32 years old. He is scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I have respect for the dude. I mean, but Cain Velasquez is an all-time great as well. But it didn't go his way.
I remember at one point, it might have been the first time you were on Jay and Mark, episode 16. Anybody that gives a fuck wants to go back in time. Somebody asked you, maybe it was me, maybe it was Jared, maybe it was a live segment thing, who your dream fight would be, and you said Cain Velasquez.
Yeah.
So at one time you were a big Cain Velasquez fan. I'm assuming.
Huge. I still am to this day. I think he's phenomenal. I just think Father Time has caught up to him. His body has not held up great. He's only fought twice in 5 years, I think.
Yeah, he's no Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva was still pretty sprightly. Yeah. Cain Velasquez. I mean, granted, we only got to see how much of it.
20-some seconds.
Yeah, so I mean, we could be wrong for all we know, but yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said. I can't really add to any of that.
Yeah. Co-main event.
Yeah. James Vick versus Paul Felder.
I'm a huge Paul Felder fan.
Yeah, I like Paul Felder. Yeah. I do. I don't know much about James Vick, but
Paul Felder was actually the announcer on the Contender fight for me.
He was. You're absolutely the Irish Dragon.
The Irish Dragon, which I don't know where you get that nickname, but whatever. It's your thing.
Yeah, man. It sounds like a nickname he gave himself.
Or honestly. Like his daughter or something, like his nephew was like, "Hey, I like dragons." He's like, "I'm the Irish Dragon."
He went to some internet generator, like MMA fighter name generator. Irish
Grandpa's
Dragon
from Ireland.
I like that.
I like kung fu movies. You're the Irish Dragon.
Hair is red. Oh, fire dragon, gotcha. Irish Dragon.
I don't know much about James Vick. I know he's tough and he's very tall and lanky for that division, but I thought Paul Felder won that pretty convincingly.
For sure.
Bruce Leroy versus Kron.
It's either Kron or Kron.
I think it's Kron Gracie, which everybody thinks Gracie's, and I do respect the Gracies. They're like the first family of MMA.
Yeah. Actually, Igor Gracie follows us.
Who?
Igor Gracie.
I don't know that one.
I don't know that one either, but he's
good
a Gracie,
for him. Awesome.
And he's got a shit ton of followers. So.
Sweet. Good for him.
I'm not convinced that all these people are just making their name Gracie.
Yeah. It's weird. It's a huge family. But he's a legit Gracie. I can't remember who his father is, but he's the first Gracie to win in the UFC in over 21 years.
Kron?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
They've had a lot of bells.
Well, hell. And what did you call Alex Caceres?
His nickname is Bruce Leroy.
Really?
Yeah. He comes out with I think there was in the 70s there was a character named Bruce Leroy.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it really. But he comes out in that yellow jumpsuit.
Okay.
Or he used to. I don't know if he still does with the whole
Bruce
Reebok
Lee.
deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, he comes out. He used to come out in that yellow jumpsuit, and it's kind of cool. I think it's pretty sweet.
Yeah. If I had that jumpsuit, I'd come out.
I'd rock it too.
Yeah, dude. I mean, not only that, maybe if you can't relate to Kill or Bruce Lee, you could relate to Kill Bill or something. You could be Uma Thurman.
Yeah. The thing about that fight is, man, that Gracie is a hell of a grappler.
Somehow knew it was going to be a submission. Somehow knew. I mean, how did you?
Gracie submission, yeah. He made it look pretty easy. I think I think he has a good chance of being successful in the sport until he runs into a good wrestler that he can't take down.
Yeah. I mean, it was his first fight ever. Not even just in the UFC.
No, he was 4-0.
Oh, really?
He was 4-0.
Oh, they said it was his Octagon debut.
That means UFC debut.
Oh, really? Yeah. I just assume any Octagon.
Nope, he was because UFC has a trademark on the Octagon.
Really?
Nobody else is allowed to call it the Octagon.
I guess I never picked up that maybe they're not all 8-sided.
No, I do believe I don't think
Some
you're allowed to have
6-sided.
An 8-sided cage
because they got 8-sided cages locked down.
Yeah, I believe. I think that's it. I don't know if it's. I'm pretty sure it's 8-sided cages, and I know nobody's allowed to call it the Octagon. You have to call it a cage.
Wow, damn Dana, you got to hold a fucking.
I think it was even before Dana's time, but I don't know for a fact.
Fucking A, dude. Geometrical shapes and shit.
I fought in everything from a 6-sided cage to a round cage. So, and I fought in a real octagon.
Have you fought in a square cage?
Nope, never a square cage. No, I've boxed in rings.
Have you fought in a Hell in a Cell?
Ooh, that'd be so fun.
A Punjabi prison? An elimination chamber?
So, on the way here, I was listening to the latest Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah.
And they talk about how do you say it? Jumbat. How do you say it? The prison match?
Punjabi
prison match. It was the first one. Did not have the Great Khali in it, and did not have.
Who did that?
It was Undertaker, in 2006. Undertaker. It was supposed to be Great Khali, but his liver enzymes were too high, so they switched him out with the Big Show.
How stupid.
And the very first cage they built for it, nobody from the WWE saw it until the day of the event. And I guess Undertaker and Cain were Undertaker and Big Show were walking around it like, what? It was made of like steel.
Really?
And they painted it to look like bamboo.
What the fuck? I wonder if they're all like that now.
I think they are made out of bamboo now because there was no give. It was solid steel bars.
That's fucked up.
And they're like, what are we supposed to do on this?
A lot of those tops of them were like angled, so they were sharp.
Yeah.
They could have gotten impaled. I guess they could still get impaled on bamboo, but metal is a different story.
I don't know.
I didn't know
I
that.
think it's
I've never seen
dumb
that
concept for a match, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's a cage outside of a cage made out of bamboo.
But I guess the first one, I don't know if
we can see less now.
What was it? Orton versus Mahal, Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, it was the last one.
But
Jinder
I guess
Mahal versus
it was Orton, wasn't it?
Orton, yeah, and then Great Khali came out.
A funny little tidbit about that is they said that Great Khali grabbed the belt and held it up. Mm-hmm. So all the newspaper in India took a picture of that and said Great Khali's the new champion.
Yeah. I saw a meme the next day, and it was a picture of Great Khali holding up the belt, and Jinder Mahal was like next to him just kind of looking up at him, and it was just like, should somebody tell Khali he's not the champ?
Nah, we'll just let it slide this time.
But you never saw Khali again after that. That was like 2 years ago now.
Yeah. They did that because it was in India, wasn't it? Or it was...
Well, yeah, and the whole reason... Jinder Mahal got that push was essentially because they were trying... WWE had gone into the Indian market, and they wanted to get all those Indian viewers.
Yeah, now he's back as a mid-card jobber.
Yeah, because they didn't really like him.
No.
I think... I don't know where Mustafa Ali is, but I think he's their new push when it comes to like other cultures and shit.
Was he on 205 Live?
Yes, I think he was also on NXT, but I think now they're actually shutting down 205 Live and merging it into NXT.
They should, because 205 Live is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
I haven't really watched it, but I know they put in a lot of effort.
It's an upgrade from the WCW Cruiserweights.
I just don't want to watch that many wrestling shows. Like, I'll watch NXT and WWE, and then I'll watch AEW when it's on. And I'd watch New Japan if I had cable and could.
Right. Actually, now that you say that, I believe there's a free thing on PlayStation 4. Mm-hmm. I can't remember the name of it. We can look up after this.
Okay.
They have a New Japan channel on there.
Really? And it's free?
It's
like completely free?
Completely free. The only problem I've had with it, I cannot remember the name of it, but we can look it up after the show, is sometimes out of nowhere, more times than not it happened when I was watching, they have well, it's not Dream, it's, the hell is it? It's a kickboxing channel. 24/7 kickboxing.
Wow, really?
And like I went to the bathroom and I came back and said, channel will not available. Like, just stop streaming. And then I redid it and it went on like another 15 minutes. Channel not available.
Huh.
But I believe there's a New Japan Pro Wrestling channel.
So it streams it live?
No.
Oh.
No. It's just like...
it's like Netflix, essentially. You're streaming old stuff. Okay, that's cool. And I found something similar called Tubi. TUBI.com, and it's essentially just a free Netflix. There's ads, but like, and not everything.
This has commercials.
This has commercials too. But like half the stuff, they got a lot to choose from. Half the stuff on there is good, like A+ titles and stuff, even TV shows and stuff. And then the other half is like B movies. But I mean, for free,
this is kind of like this is.
That's pretty beastly.
Yeah.
I mean, I could watch like all kinds of stuff I actually really like on there. For some reason, I chose Wahlburgers. I don't know why. It was something easy to not pay attention.
By the way, the kickboxing channel is Glory. I cannot think of it.
Glory.
Glory
I
is
think I've heard of
the premier kickboxing league in the world.
Gotcha.
Used to be K1, now it's Glory.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so that was UFC on ESPN.
Yeah, and then got into a little bit of wrestling there for you. And then the thing Jeffy wanted to talk about, and obviously I did too because I wrote it down. I am 5 episodes in, and you said you were what, 3?
I believe I'm almost through 3.
Almost okay, roughly 3.5 episodes into the Umbrella Academy on Netflix. I think it just came out this week.
Yep.
Yeah, this week.
They advertised the shit out of it though.
Yeah. Do you know where it came from? What it is?
I know it's from a comic book. It's not DC or Marvel.
Based on a Dark Horse comic
Yes.
book, which is an independent. I don't know if they're owned by anybody now, but they were an independent label and or company, and it's the comic book was written by Gerard Way of My Chemical Romance.
Really?
This is all his stuff, yeah. And
didn't
Gabriel
know that.
Ba, who is a very good fucking artist. I believe he's the artist. Gerard wrote it, so I'm assuming Gabriel Ba. Or
Gerard is the lead singer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Looks like
he was the
yeah.
King
The one that
guy.
didn't look like dark-haired Garth Algar from Wayne's World. Because that was his brother. The other guy looked like Garth. He looked just fucking like him.
But he was like, all the scene chicks thought he was like the most beautiful man in the world.
I mean, it was a bad-looking dude.
He was terrible live, though.
I didn't.
Oh, it was hard
I
to get
didn't
to that
hate My
concert.
Chemical Romance. I just
didn't either.
hated that everybody was on their fucking nuts.
Yep.
And
they weren't that good.
I mean, I like them now more than I did then. Like I could appreciate them way more. Not
Their
only
first
that-
album is great. Like me and Alex listened to it not too long ago.
Wait, which one's their? Is that the one?
I'm Not Okay. And
Yeah, is that their first one?
That's their first album.
Oh, I thought they had an album or two before that.
Not that I know of.
Okay, that one I
was their
bought,
first
and I
hit.
did like that a lot.
Yeah,
I
it's
sold
like
it
something.
But I didn't listen to anything else after
What the
that.
fuck is that called?
Once everybody was on their nuts, I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna
Yeah, the
not be one of them.
the one after that they got. That's when like they really took over. But I didn't think it was
Yeah, they got huge.
the Dark Parade or something like that.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Dark Parade was like
Yeah.
their big.
See, I don't know anything off that album, but that
Um,
first one they did had like
oh,
an
I'm sorry.
anime cover.
It was their very first one was I Brought You My Bullets. You Brought Me Your Love, which I don't know anything from.
I remember
that.
hearing that, but I don't remember hearing anything from it.
And then
I know the one right after that.
Three
the,
Cheers for Sweet Revenge was their one
That's-
where I think we
yeah.
were sophomores.
the anime looking
Yeah.
cover and shit.
Yep. And that was this first song's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the music video. It was a funeral.
Yeah.
They were carrying the girl out, yeah, and the girl's dead, but she's like still like reacting and kind of singing and shit. That was a cool video.
That was a cool video.
They're a way better band than I gave them credit for.
Live though, because this is what my understanding was when I saw him live. He was so far into alcohol, like he was just a mess.
Yeah, that'll happen. Seems to be doing well now though.
Yeah.
My Chemical Romance isn't together anymore.
Couldn't
Right?
tell you. Could not tell you.
And I've only
See,
heard
when-
about him doing comic book stuff for like the
Their
last 5 or
last
6 years.
album was 2016. Oh no, I take that back. 2014.
There you
2016 was just like a reissue
So-
of it, 10-year anniversary.
If they didn't break up, they're on like an indefinite hiatus
Right.
at this point because it's been a few years.
Black Parade.
They'll have a comeback in a couple years probably.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I guess the more you know. Umbrella Academy,
Yeah, I did not know
Comic
he
book
wrote
was-
that.
written by Gerard Way of My Chemical Romance.
Can I go first on this?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so as soon as you turn on Netflix, it's the first thing that pops up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give this a shot. So I waited a couple days, and I was like looking for something to watch again. I was like, okay, I had nothing going on. I watched the first episode. I like it. Ellen Page is in it. A huge
Yeah.
Ellen Page fan.
Yeah, she's been getting her politics and shit has been getting on my nerves recently, but I can put that aside.
The thing that and I like her as an actress. I don't know personally. The thing that bothered me was my favorite game and Josh's favorite game was The Last of Us, and they ripped it off.
Yeah.
They ripped her off. It even sounds like her.
Yeah.
Ellie, but she made a way bigger deal about that than she should have. I think she should be more flattered, but I know the game Beyond Two Souls has her in it, and it's her. You know, she did the voiceover, she did all that for it. So they came out similar timing. So I guess she could be mad about it, but like,
shit happens, man.
Shit happens.
I mean, there's a Wyatt Earp and a Tombstone that came out in the same fucking like summer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That shit happens.
It happens. Tombstone's great though.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, my initial, I thought it started off slow, but I like how I always like when they explain to you who these people are.
Yeah.
And I think it's a cool premise of the girl jumping in the pool, coming out. She's having this baby. She jumped in, not pregnant.
Yeah.
Came out having a baby in labor.
For anybody that doesn't know, the whole story of this show starts out with basically 14 kids were randomly born on the same day, and their mothers were not pregnant when they woke up that morning. So they were essentially immaculately conceived within minutes and then giving birth to a baby.
Yes.
And this happened to 14 children were given birth on this same day. An eccentric billionaire buys 7 of them.
I thought it was 9 originally, but it's
7 of them. Yeah, there's 14 total, and he's able to get his hands on 7 of them. 6 of them end up having superpowers. 1 of them does not.
Which is Ellen Page.
Which is Ellen Page's character.
There's something. There's something's gonna come out with that.
Yeah, and then he basically trains them to be superheroes and then does like experiments with them their entire lives. And then
But they're not superheroes to the sense of like they save the day. They're superheroes as they go in and fucking kill all these bad people.
Yeah,
they don't play around. They kill.
I didn't look at the rating.
Brutally
of it,
kill people.
But it's definitely TVMA, if not rated R.
Yeah.
I haven't really paid attention to if there's any fucks or bad language or anything.
I think there is.
There's some bad language, but I didn't know if it was like mild.
Yeah. I want to know more. My favorite character, because I haven't been able to relate with any of the characters. I think the acting's just fine.
Yeah.
It's the characters, but I'm only 2.5, 3 episodes in, so like maybe I'll I usually attach myself to one character, like, oh, that's my favorite guy. Like,
yeah.
Like,
I'm curious to hear what you're gonna say.
Like the Hound.
Yeah.
He's my favorite character. You know?
For sure.
And there's other characters.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones you attach yourself to, but like, there hasn't been a character besides I love the fucking monkey, the chimpanzee.
Yeah, dude. I do love him too.
What I don't understand. I don't know if there's any backstory behind him. Why is he?
They're gonna get into that.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm 5 episodes in. You're 3.5.
No, not even 3.5. Just 3.
All right. I think character development happens as the episodes go on. So like they kind of follow, like they don't follow them, but the episode is more geared toward this character, you know, or they follow this character a little bit more, or you learn something about him.
Because the second one was Ellen Page. She was like a violin teacher.
Yeah, you learned a bit about her. Then you learned about
the guy that jumps in time and.
Yeah. The whole show is basically centered around him and what happened.
Yeah, and he's my least favorite.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think he's a little smug.
I'm liking him more as time goes on, and you'll see why. But, yeah, the character development develops as the show does. So you're getting more and more bits of information. Like, the last one I watched, and it's very much like this with every episode. As the episodes go on, I like the show more. So there's a point where like, wow, okay, now I want to watch this next episode. I finished episode 5 right before you came today for this, and I'm kind of like, all right, that's definitely what I'm watching when I lay down tonight or I'm settling in, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm going to watch.
So I'm pretty psyched, and it's something that has to do with the mother and the monkey. The chimpanzee guys.
Okay, because the mother's just out there. She's fucking weird.
She's fucking gorgeous, though.
She is. She doesn't age.
She's a robot.
That's why
my
she
bad.
age.
My bad. I didn't realize they didn't know. I thought they did that in like episode 2.
I was picking up that she was either a robot
Yeah,
or
it's obvious
she was a cyborg or an alien.
Because the billionaire guy is an old man, and
yeah.
she's still like a late 20s,
yeah,
early 30s.
It's not
hottie.
a huge spoiler, but like I was like something's.
You
like,
can tell.
There's
yeah.
something going on here. She was acting really strange. She has no emotion. Like she's like the one part they're talking about how he died and stuff, and she like froze up real quick, and she's like, "Eggs are ready."
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, there's something up there.
That
she's either
develops.
crazy or she's not human.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, it's cool. So the I can't remember his name. The monkey.
Pogo.
That's it. I like him a lot too. I'm curious to see where he's going with, or where they're going with him.
He's like an old chimpanzee that is
that talks
English
and is very
style, and like the one he caught the girl smoking on up in the attic, and she said like shit or something. He goes language.
Yeah,
like
yeah. He's basically their father.
Right.
He's the
You
father.
can tell they relate to him more than their actual father.
the Alfred Pennyworth to their Batman.
Yep. That's exactly what he is. I was like, he's a chimpanzee Alfred.
Because
exactly what I related it to.
To the eccentric billionaire, they were essentially an investment, and he put all his time and energy into them. But he did it more as like a business and as a scientist. The chimpanzee, who I'm still waiting to figure out what his story is,
he looks at him like his kids.
Yeah, he was their Alfred to Batman. He raised them. He was there for them. He was probably the ones that talked to them and made them feel better about things, along with the mother.
Because that part, she's stressing out because she can't see her kid, and he's the one that kind of essentially talks her off the ledge of being pissed off.
Yeah,
and you could tell like he's like that. He's like their shoulder to lean on.
Exactly.
So that's why I really like him. I don't know. I'm really excited about watching this show because I think it's different than everything else out there.
So you picked Pogo as your favorite. This is why I was curious, because I knew it was either going to be Pogo or Klaus.
Which one's Klaus?
Klaus is the junkie brother.
Oh God, he's almost too much over the top.
See, he's the most interesting one though to me when it comes to the siblings. He's the most interesting one. There's the guy who he seems like the older brother, but they're all the same age. But the guy who's like has an ape body and then a man head.
They keep going, man, you got big.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
He's like, you can tell it's like he's in a bodysuit.
I don't know if you've gotten to the point where they show you what happened or why he's like, okay, you'll see.
I know
eventually.
he was on the moon. I thought maybe being on the moon had something to do with it.
Yeah, you'll see. I don't want to spoil too much more for you. I've already spoiled so much, but that guy confuses me. I don't know if I like him.
He's kind of
yet or not. But
he's like the Cyclops of the group.
But this whole thing is very much a mystery. You're trying to find, like, the end of the world supposedly is happening in like a week.
Yep,
that's the only one that really knows is the one that travels through time, and like it's all slowly unfolding, and you're all slowly knowing more, and it's all making more sense as the episodes go on.
That's kind of like the part I like about it too, is because like that is you forget that's going to happen until somebody else brings it up. Like, hey, end of the world in 7 days.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh fuck, that's the end game.
Can't forget Mary fucking J. Blige is in it.
Is she?
She's one of the two people chasing after the little kid.
That's Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, the black chick. That's Mary J. Blige. I believe that is, unless I'm extremely racist. But no, I'm pretty sure that's Mary J. Blige.
I didn't know that. Maybe I just didn't get a good.
I'm gonna look it up so I don't sound like an asshole.
I thought I could have swore it was a white chick.
But yeah. No, a white chick. No, it's a white dude and then a black chick. The white dude has a beard. He's always talking to the lady in the donut shop. Yeah, and then Mary J. Blige is the other chick.
You're right.
Is it Mary J. Blige? Yeah. So can't forget about that. And then Kate Walsh, I think, the redhead chick from Grey's Anatomy, pops up at one point. Yeah. Yeah, I'm waiting to see Gerard Way in there somewhere, probably as a cameo.
I think it's 10 episodes, and which I think is the perfect season. Netflix has nailed it with the 10 episodes
for hour-long shows. Yeah,
I thought they should have kept that for Punisher. Did you get it through Punisher?
I have.
I got
not.
all the way. Okay,
I haven't even started. They canceled it. They canceled Punisher and Jessica.
Is that?
I know why. I saw it coming too. Disney has their own streaming service. They're slowly taking all the Marvel stuff off there so Disney can put it on their own streaming service.
I cannot see
Same
Disney
thing with the
putting
Disney
Punisher
products.
on there.
No, they will. They're going to. They're putting. There are like. I have no doubt they will. I'm pretty sure they're going to put Daredevil on there too. Not only that, Disney said Deadpool movies are still going to be rated R. Disney is.
They're stepping up.
They're gonna have multiple ventures. There's gonna be more adult oriented ventures and still the kid stuff. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's going to hurt them at all because, like, I compare that to like Nintendo. Nintendo is still a child first system.
Well,
But when they release stuff for older kids or adults, it sells crazy.
Well, Nintendo, you're right, and Nintendo is going to that next level. Nintendo was
They don't have a choice.
the bottom tier for a long time,
Yeah.
but Nintendo just proved that, like, look, we're gonna be one of the top companies again because now they announced not even a week ago, Xbox and Nintendo have teamed up, and more Xbox titles are gonna start coming out on Switch.
Right.
So they get PS4 in there or PlayStation in there.
I think
Nintendo
Sony
is a top contender.
Yeah,
and they basically have no competition at that point.
I think Xbox, and I'm not as crazy about the whole politics of video games and stuff, but I think Xbox is on the downside. I think Sony is up.
I think Sony learned a lot from this generation, and I think they just proved it by their announcement.
They could honestly, next generation, they could probably bury Xbox.
Well, they've already announced PS5.
Yeah.
And I think Xbox, whatever the next,
just announced two new systems.
Whatever one of those two new systems is essentially going to be their next gen system.
Yes. Well, they both are, but one's going to be bottom tier and one's going to be like Xbox X.
But essentially, like, it's they're not making it like Xbox 3 or something. They're just giving it a name, and then essentially this is their next gen system, as opposed to PlayStation will have PlayStation 5.
Yep.
Which, thank you PlayStation for doing that, because like
Don't
I
call
hate
it
all
the
this
unicorn
confusing
or
shit.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, like Xbox One, Xbox 360, Xbox, like it's all backwards.
Yep.
One. No, 360 should be the one you're putting out now. Xbox One should have been Xbox One, or it's self-explanatory. I don't even need to do it.
Right. And Nintendo is kind of the same way. They're like, they just said, fuck it, we're just going to call them whatever we want, because they have Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, which made sense, has 64-bit graphics.
Yep. GameCube,
Wii U, which was just the Wii with HD graphics.
It was a Wii trying to be a Switch.
Yeah,
essentially.
Exactly.
It was trying to be portable.
It was and now the Switch, which
Switch, they pretty much nailed it. They
killed it with the Switch. Yeah,
they could have at least done 1080p, because it's only 720p
and
from what I
here's
hear.
the thing that frustrated me the most about the Switch. That's why one of the reasons not the most reason, but one of the reasons I got rid of it is it doesn't have Bluetooth capability.
That's weird.
I could not hook up my headphones to it.
Give it a year or
what
two.
the fuck?
There'll be a Switch Lite or a Switch, HD.
Switch Pro, Switch.
Yeah. Even though I think they said they're not going to do that, but give it time.
Yeah.
When everybody's bought their Switch and like, well, Switch sales are going down. Well, let's make a fucking HD Switch.
Exactly.
But I think PlayStation's going to kill it next gen, because PlayStation's learned a lot from this generation. Especially they've already announced PS5, and they've said not even a week ago that PS5 will be completely backwards compatible.
Yeah, all the way to back.
All the way
PS1.
back to PlayStation 1.
That's crazy.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, you saw the meme of Vince McMahon.
Yes,
that's the
best.
best.
Where it's kind of like the thing with the brain, but it's just Vince McMahon getting aggressively more
and then
turned
the very
on.
end is just him like
they
announced PS1
falling back in the chair. Yeah, but that's awesome. Not only that, why they haven't done this entire time is beyond me, because they can be selling old games that don't sell anymore.
Yeah.
Like, GameStop would still be in business.
Yeah, GameStop would be killing it.
GameStop wouldn't have to fucking rip us off.
Right.
Because
they still would find a way to.
Well, they'd be selling all those games they can't sell that are putting them under.
Right.
All those games they bought that people don't want anymore. I mean, I can finally get rid of my PlayStation 3
Right.
because I
Mine's
kept it
on
just in
its
case I wanted.
last leg.
I wish I would have kept my PS2, my PS1, my
too.
Nintendo 62. I wish I would have kept them all.
And in hindsight, I wish I could go back. And the one thing I would do differently is take care of my shit, because like once I got my PlayStation 2, my PS1, I could have honestly unhooked it as fast as I could and threw it.
Yeah,
know?
yeah, like once PlayStation 4 comes, well, I didn't do it with the PS3 because I liked keeping the PS3 because it had more media capabilities than the PS4 does. But like, for real though, once I got a PS3, I probably could have like used my PS2 as a fucking footstool. You know what I mean? Or like I put the dog's food bowl on it or something.
Right,
like
exactly.
You don't give a fuck for a minute.
Stepping stool. There you go.
But yeah, it's like when you get a new pair of shoes, those shoes you've been caring about for the past year. Don't give a fuck.
And I wish I could go back because I had so many. My parents, we didn't have a lot of money, but man, they made sure I always had. If I had to have the game, they got it for me.
Yep. Oh, dude, there's so many things I had that just got destroyed.
Yep.
Because I decided to destroy it, or carelessness, or me not giving a shit, which I guess is the same thing as carelessness. And I'm looking back, I was like, "Fuck, dude! If I still had that, I would cherish it right now."
Or I let somebody borrow it, like, "Oh, fuck, here you go,"
Yep.
and then I never saw it again.
Yep. Yeah, I forget how we got on all this.
Don't remember.
We were talking about Umbrella Academy. And
we jump all over the place.
We do. That's what we're good for, though.
It works, though. It works for us.
Anything else you wanted to add to Umbrella Academy before we go?
I think by next episode we'll both have it, ready to review the whole thing.
Gotcha. Right. Yeah. Oh no, for sure.
You're already up halfway through, and I will be halfway through by the end of the night. So.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like I got the next 4 days off. We're going to see Coheed on Tuesday, so that day will be pretty.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, fucking Tuesday, baby. Yeah. Coheed and Cambria in Cleveland.
We got a big day Tuesday.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Yeah. So, my point there was I got 4 days off, even though one day will be very busy, and I'm sure I'll get through it. Especially the more psyched I am as the episodes go on.
Right.
Anything else, sir? Can you think of anything
I don't
else?
got anything else. That was
I know you said you wanted to talk video games. We did, but I don't know if you talked what you wanted to talk in there.
There's this. I try to keep up with the games nowadays, and the new big one that came out like a week and a half ago is Apex Legends.
I've heard the name.
It's another battle royale, however you want to say it. This one is, they took all the aspects from like the Call of Duty Blackout and the Fortnite, and a game that I also really liked was Titanfall 1 and 2. That was
never played, but I always heard good things.
Really good.
Is that a Bethesda game? That's a Bethesda game, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm a big Bethesda guy. So.
Well, they make the Apex Legends.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
Oh shit.
So it's different. Like you have to run around and it's just like any other game like that.
Open world.
It's all online.
Okay.
So
yeah.
It's 3-man teams, and there's 20 teams, so 60 players altogether.
All right.
Last team standing wins. There's a way to, which I think is the greatest thing about a first-person shooter that nobody has done.
Yeah.
Is when somebody goes down, you can revive them. But if you can't get to them in time or somebody does take them out, you can recover this thing called a banner. And there's these little stations throughout the map that you can revive them. You can put their banner in there, and they respawn.
Okay.
So they jump back from the ship. So essentially you can be down 2 guys, go grab their banners, make it out of the shit show that you just came out of, put them in, and now you guys are fresh again.
Shit. So
it's
you're never down and out. Like you always have a shot.
All 3 guys are down.
Nice.
You know, but eventually, like there's a timer, so like I think you get like 90 seconds to revive their banner before they're done.
Okay, and then they're canceled after.
Me, Bunyan, and Josh have been playing a lot of it, and we've been having a lot of fun with it.
Sweet.
So it's like it's a game that's probably going to put Fortnite down a couple pegs, which I never was.
Fortnite's already going down a little bit.
Yeah.
What I hear.
It's just, I mean, it's the same thing. Fortnite was essentially World of Warcraft or whatever,
mm-hmm.
and it's so hot. It can only be hot for so long before people just stop playing with it.
Oh yeah, and I mean it's just like any other game, except this one's an online one, and it could go on. Like its shelf life was a lot longer because of that. Like Red Dead, everybody talked about it for 4 months, and then now no one talks about it. Just like on YouTube, like there's YouTube channels I've followed over the past 4 months and just watched all their Red Dead videos over the past 4 months, and then now they're done playing Red Dead and they're moving on to another game. So I'm probably gonna unsubscribe to them now because they're not doing any of the content I'm looking for anymore.
Resident Evil 2 was another game that was flavor of the week. You know, everybody was crazy about it for a week or two, and now it's.
Yeah, I actually watched some gameplay videos of people playing that shit on, and definitely looks better than that fucking compilation video I saw of the terrible voice acting.
Poor God, they were. You know what it was is the first 2 Resident Evils, maybe even the third one. They got. I know for the very first Resident Evil, the voice acting was so bad because it was made in Japan, and they didn't even get American actors.
Yeah,
they got American people that were living in Japan to play those parts.
To just read them. And they weren't even actors. Yeah, they were poorly read. That makes that's exactly what it sounded like. Fucking A. I mean, there was a point where, like, the beginning of the sentence sounded like a completely different, like, tone or attitude than the ending of the sentence.
It's like they just clipped a bunch of stuff together and was like, man, that works.
I don't know if we should be doing this, John. Like they took 2 different takes and put them together.
The first one's even worse. It was like, wait, don't open that door.
Yeah, almost like a robot said it. Or something.
And it's like, what is it? Blood.
Yeah, no, the remake definitely is much better, much better.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe we actually thought that shit was good.
I loved it. I still to this day would play it, but I finished that, so. That's all my video game talk. I think after the fight, I'm going to sit down and I'll have a week off of practice or 10 days or whatever they decide to give me, and I'm going to
fuck that shit up.
My PC.
Nice. Woo. Nice. Yeah, no, you've been talking to me about that a little bit.
I was between 2 things. I was between building a gun, which I know nothing about. Yeah. I was on YouTube everything.
Oh, shit.
Or I was going to build a PC, which I know nothing about.
Yeah. I didn't either. I knew nothing.
So
I had help from a cousin and YouTube and Google.
I've decided that I'm going to record me trying to put together. I've decided the PC because I'm going to get obviously more use. I'm not shooting anybody anytime soon. I'm going to record me and that'll be my first editing experience. Is me
editing your putting it together video.
Putting it together. And,
I like it.
And you know how big of a hothead I am.
Yeah.
It could be
gold. Disastrous.
It could be gold.
Which could be gold. It being disastrous.
Or it could be boring as fuck.
I think either way, there's something gonna be there.
Because dude, I get so mad putting together a fucking baby toy.
Not only that, but dude, this is all really expensive shit, and you could very easily fuck up.
And these hands were not made to like be working on little fucking.
No, not at all. Like, yeah, you're gonna. Well, I'll help you in any way I can.
Yeah, but I'm definitely gonna record that. And then after that, I already know what microphones I'm purchasing.
Nice. I have a bunch of shit on my Amazon wish list too.
I'm going. I think for my studio that I'm gonna need your help with. We're going all digital microphones.
Really?
Instead of these.
Yeah. No. Like I was looking at condenser mics, but what digital? What are you talking about? Like USB mics?
Yeah, like
they're just gonna plug straight. Oh, you're going with the Blue Yetis?
Yeah, not the Yetis, the Snowballs.
Snowballs.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because I actually listened to a comparison. Some guy had a Snowball and a Yeti next to each other, and he just kept going back and forth. Yeah. And the Yeti, which is double the price, gives this high pitched squeal that you can faintly hear, and the Snowball, nothing.
Really?
Yeah, it was clear as day.
Well, the problem with USB mics is being able to like plug all of them. You'd need like many USB or like a USB splitter or something,
right.
And then you'd have to do any kind of manipulation or like anything that I would do with the soundboard. You're gonna have to do on the computer somehow.
Yeah.
And you're gonna need
I'm gonna get an actual audio program to run it.
Because like I'm using Audacity, and there's plugins and shit I can get for that. But like when it comes to podcasting, it's all pretty basic. But the cool thing about the USB mics is you can then put us, like, you can be one track, I could be one track, and you could turn one track up, one track down. You can edit it way easy. Like, I can just fuck with you. Like, you're too quiet and I'm too loud, I can turn you up and turn me down.
That's why I actually been doing a lot of research on it, and the pros and, sorry if this is boring for anybody, but the pros and cons, I think the pros outweigh the cons of the digital USB microphone.
Yeah. For somebody, for a beginner who doesn't really know what they're doing, it's probably way more helpful to have that. The soundboard
scares me. I don't want to touch it.
But I'm the kind of guy who likes to learn the stuff too in the process. So like, might as well do it the hard way so you can learn the hard way.
And the easy way is going to be that much easier when you do decide.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm already, Rachel doesn't know it, but if she listens to this,
she does now.
She does listen to our show, which is very, very supportive.
Oh shit, that's good to have in the back of my head. I'm sure it's even better for you.
I'm gonna turn in, because very, very simple project. I'm gonna turn, because you've been to my house, the room where we had the unfinished
room?
No, the unfinished side where the laundry was. When Jared passed out. I'm walling.
Jared passed out.
I'm boxing in. As soon as you walk in, I'm putting another door
so you're gonna
to
build
the laundry room.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I'm building that as our studio, and then if that doesn't work out or whatever, it's an extra playroom. So I'm really, all I need is to put up is 2 walls, which is very simple. I need somebody to run some electric in there, which I have electrician friends or my father, and that's it.
And the rigs and the setup and shit.
Everything else
table
is
chairs
right
on there.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get these. I'll show you after the show, but
well, you sent me a picture the one day. I was like, let's do something like this. I was like, that looks fucking great.
Yeah. But I got the chairs picked out, everything.
Nice.
Like, it's gonna look legit. Like, this is always gonna be home base, but like,
yeah.
Like,
but like, if we're gonna do something up at your house, like a party or a live stream or something, we can always do it there. Or like, let's say, like, I almost don't even want to say it, but just because it's such a pipe dream. But who knows? Maybe one day Stipe wants to be on the podcast. He could just go to your house and fucking, like, as cool as it would be to actually have him on the show. But like, we could always do it like that if it was more convenient. Or anybody, you know.
Well, yeah, there's guys that live up in Cleveland that I would love to have on the show, or like a couple guests that I'd want to have, and
I mean, not that I wouldn't want them here. I would be more than happy, but I'm just saying, like, if it's probably way more convenient in most cases.
It's a 20-minute drive compared to an hour. Or whatever. So, but yeah, that's all I got for this week, man. We kind of been rambling on about my setup.
No, it's fuck, dude. I could talk about that for even longer.
We're going to after the camera goes off.
Yeah, but all right, that was Jam Up number 24, sir.
Dude, we're fucking killing it.
We are. I'm so proud of it. Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Yeah, housekeeping's at the beginning, so I never really know what to fucking do at this point. So,
thanks for listening, and tune in to ESPN Plus March 9th.
Exactly.
I don't think we'll have a show before then, but we're gonna have a little thing for the Coheed concert.
Yeah, look forward to that. We're gonna film that whole day.
Yeah, and I wonder, do you think we can get a camera into the show?
I'm just gonna bust out my phone.
Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, they can't. People film the shows all the time. They're not gonna let me bring my camera in, but they'll let you bring your phone in.
They might let you bring your camera in.
I doubt it. Not only that, I wouldn't want to chance it.
No, because you never know.
It might get fucked up, or somebody might steal it or something.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm really, really excited for that. We're gonna probably record us going up there. Yeah. The actual experience, and then on the way home. Yeah, so it's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, who knows what we might get doing all that shit? Because we're gonna make like basically a whole fucking like afternoon and rest of the day.
Because Mark's coming into training, and he's gonna watch me train for a little bit. Cause it's an easy, quick day. So.
Maybe I can get a couple quick glimpses of that shit for you guys somehow.
Yeah,
I know it's restricted in a lot of ways, but I mean, I could work some magic.
Yep.
But
You got it, dude.
you got it, dude. With your fucking Michelle Tanner over here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that said, it's been Jam Up 24.
Walter's
and
been a really good boy. Yes, you have.
Yeah,
Ugly
not
son of a bitch.
he's so ugly in the cutest way.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that said, till next time.
Hogan must pose. That wasn't my best Vince McMahon impression, but I'll work on it.
You're fired.